questions on the North Topeka proposals. And I'm sorry, we're back. Your consideration tonight is just to initiate. You're not taking any action beyond this. We would just go through an initiation of a zoning change and come back to you. Do the whole notification, the meeting, and come back to you probably in a couple months.
I do have one question. What we passed tonight with the X3, X1, X change, all those changes, how will that affect what you're proposing here? Will
It does not affect it. It would affect. This actually illustrates the problem that we have that you just approved, which is we only could adopt the X districts on an area-wide basis. If we found a parcel that that fit that X zoning, it was individual parcel, we can do it now. You don't have to do the whole area.
I think they could go ahead and initiate the public hearing process. Do we need a vote to do that? This is an action item, so any other discussion on this before we do? I guess we need a motion too.
Move to approve staff recommendations.
Second.
Any discussion? I'm sorry?
I don't know if there's anybody here that wants to comment.
It's not a public hearing item?
It is not.
No.
It's up to you. It's at your discretion.
I see.
Come back to the public hearing.
No,
There is no one.
I don't see anyone here that wishes to speak. So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, Chris, please call roll.
Mr. Jefferson,
Aye.
Mr. Hall is absent, Mr. Gillis is absent, Ms. Cuevas Stubblefield,
Aye.
Mr. Crook,
Aye.
Mr. Beck,
Aye.
Mr. Beardmore,
Aye.
Mr. Lackey,
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
The motion passes with a vote of 7.
Okay, thank you. At this time, looking at next week's meeting and based on our previous,
There's one more item. I'm sorry.
oh, there is?
Nice stretching.
We only took care of one.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got another one within the same package. My apologies.
I apologize. I could have just done all three. I did the first two. I'm sorry. The third one is in another neighborhood. So that was in the Oakland neighborhood. In the 100 block of Lime, Northeast Lime, there are 6 parcels zoned in industrial I-2 that are all residential. And I'm not sure why we didn't pick this up the first time when we did the Oakland plan 10 years ago, but suffice to say, we're recommending to go from I-2 to R2 to reflect the residential uses on that block.
Any discussion on that?
Move to accept staff recommendation.
Second.
Any discussion? No? Chris, please call me.
Mr. Beck,
Aye.
Mr. Crook,
Aye.
Ms. Cuevas Stubblefield,
Aye.
Mr. Beardmore,
Aye.
Mr. Lackey,
Aye.
Mr. Jefferson,
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Motion passes with a vote of 7.
I have no more pieces of paper in front of me on that one. What we can now do, based on what Mr. Finder discussed earlier, is we do have one agenda item for next week's policy meeting. We did cover the item 2 that was an action item of the zoning matrix. We did make it through that tonight. Is there opinion to add this item to the agenda, suspend our agenda, add it to the agenda, and then go forward with this item, and then, or would you, it is 7:27?
We either do it tonight or next Monday.
Correct. If we do it tonight, we will effectively
Not have Monday.
eliminate next Monday's meeting.
That's good to me.
Brevity is appreciated, though.
This item will take about 5 minutes.
So do we need to, we'll suspend our agenda for a second, add this to the agenda,
Let's just
and then,
blast right through it.
You'd
Come
simply
back.
make a motion to add this item, and this sorry, add the item entitled Heartland Park Redevelopment Project as an action item F2.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We will move forward with item from next week's policy meeting as item F2 for the Heartland Park redevelopment project. Mr. Warner is here to tell us about it.
I am. Commissioners, in 2005, the governing body approved the Heartland Park redevelopment plan, a redevelopment district, and adopted a project plan to redevelop Heartland Park. That plan involved capital improvements to infrastructure and facilities at Heartland Park. The proposal before you is to expand that original project plan area. The attached map, the second map in your packet shows the existing, what would be the existing Heartland Park district in yellow, and the proposed expansion of that boundary or that district in red. So you can see it goes north along Topeka Boulevard. State law requires the Planning Commission to determine if a project plan is consistent with the intent of the comprehensive plan. In 2005, the Planning Commission made that determination when this original project plan was approved. The city, or the governing body, is scheduled to take up the revision to the project plan in August. And so the gist of that plan will be to issue bonds and using the proceeds to acquire Jayhawk Racing Property LLC's reversionary interest in Heartland Park. The district will be expanded in order to use the sales tax proceeds to pay for the debt service. So the expanded district is basically existing commercial industrial properties and is designated that way in our comprehensive plan, both the existing one and the proposed 2040 plan. So there's really no impact to the comprehensive plan because essentially the property's existing use is the way it is today, and that's not proposed to change. So it is staff's opinion and staff's recommendation that the project plan is consistent with the comprehensive plan. The third page of that memo does show, not great, it shows the comp plan designation of that area. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Do you just have a clarification? There is some small amount of residential just to the southwest of our Air National Guard facility. How would those be impacted at all?
I can answer that. There would be no impact at all. But the project plan is essentially financial. It's expanding the district so that the city can collect more sales tax to pay off the bonds. There really is no impact on any land usage in the comprehensive plan. So staff would request a motion to affirm staff's opinion that the amendment to the Star Bond project plan is consistent with the intent of the comprehensive plan.
Thank you.
So does this in effect raise the mill levy on these properties?
No, it will not. It will have no impact. No, a portion of the sales tax that's already being generated in this expanded district will go to pay off the bonds. But the sales tax is not, or the retail businesses, sales tax is not going to be increased and property taxes are not going to be increased.
Does it give these new properties any opportunity to use those funds in a different way, or does that give them any advantage in
No.
that regard?
No, none.
Okay.
But state law requires that the planning commission make this finding before the city can proceed to change the project plan and expand the district. So that's why we're here tonight.
We're already using Star bonds to pay off the first part of Heartland Park when they first built it.
Yes,
So this just adding to that.
that's correct.
Mr. Finer, do you have a comment?
Yeah, Dan and I mean, we looked at this and as Mary pointed out, it really has no effect on land use. The one thing that by creating this zone, do you put any pressure on an area becoming more commercial, more, sales tax friendly? Which is one of the reasons we wanted to show you that the corridor that they chose and that the area that they chose is except for the one area you pointed out, Mr. Chairman, is all planned for commercial and industrial.
Thank you.
I'd like to recommend that we find it compatible with the comprehensive plan that staff recommends.
I would second that. Any discussion? I know you looked at it briefly and heard tonight.
It's been discussed in newspaper for quite a while too.
It has. Any discussion? Hearing none. Chris, please call roll.
Ms. Jordan?
Aye.
Mr. Lackey?
Aye.
Mr. Beardmore?
Aye.
Mr. Jefferson?
Aye.
Mr. Beck?
Aye.
Mr. Crook?
Aye.
Ms. Cuevas Stubblefield?
Aye.
Mr. Gales and Mr. Hall are both absent. Motion passes with a vote of 7.
Thank you all. I believe then that covers next week's agenda as well, other than do we need to do anything with meeting minutes, or can we push that to
Right. Yeah, that could be pushed to
the
the
next
next meeting.
policy meeting? Thank you. Any other items before we adjourn for the evening, or do we have a motion for that?
I move we adjourn.
We have a move to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
And second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all for your work tonight. Have a good night.
You may have set a record for the next meeting too.
Has the game started?
It did.
It started at 7:10.